Ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, angry faithful of all ages, this is Nerd Sports episode 209. I promise we're not going to be a two pump chump like David was last week and bring you 23 minutes of just flailing content. We are here to bring you quality. We're here to, again, make you privy. And without further ado, David, take it over for the weird sport of the week.
Listen, it may have been 23 minutes, but it was a fantastic, mind-blowing, earth-shattering 23 minutes.
It's only because that's the longest David has ever lasted.
It's true, and it's because I was there to coach him.
Weird sport.
Teaching him the finer points of short work.
You don't work on his short game. Oh man!
Wait.
All right, go ahead.
Unprepared?
Yes,
Did one fucking job.
Wow.
Hold on. Before we even track, if anything, go into the description, and I'm putting this out there because Richard High did something this weekend with the unsub, and it is a need to watch. I put it in the description so you can watch it. Yes, it'll take us away from our gloriousness of us, but it's something that needs to be put out there. What he did and what he's upset about, and it's all about the Richard High Angry Cops, yeah. And it was something stupid on the Buffalo District school system, and
in other words, hey Maria, hi, how's it going today?
Yeah, hey Maria.
Maria, hey.
But
all is right with the world now.
It's soccer, but basketball at the same time. Kloofball and Dragon Rowboat.
Okay,
that's
kayak
tug of war, but
tug of war with extra steps.
Yeah, I mean,
it actually seems kind of fun.
Hey, dude. The upper my beard is here. It's just because of the shit quality of my camera. Thank you, Google Chrome. I trimmed today. I went and got a haircut, and they trimmed the old man hair out of my ears. They trimmed back the eyebrows, because nobody tells you this when you sign up for the brochure. Before you subscribe to Life, that eventually one day your eyebrows are going to get tired of laying down and they're just going to stand up, like a couple of.
I had
like a couple of horny caterpillars on your forehead.
You'll start getting like strange strands of hair just in random places.
Yeah.
They grow really long.
Yeah. So before we get started,
hold on. I had a hair once just like poke me constantly from my eyebrow.
From your eyebrow?
Eyebrow, yeah.
Yeah, eyebrow. Well, Maria, you should have been here. What was it, like a couple of months ago, guys? And I was clean shaven.
Oh yeah, it was weird. It was very uncomfortable for all of us. We just didn't want to say anything.
Yeah.
But so I had a pretty cool development in the personal side of life. As a lot of you know, I'm currently in school. I'm graduating next week with my associates in applied science. But I've also been taking a voice acting class, not so much to learn how to speak properly, but how to get into the business and everything like that. So as of, what was it, guys, last Thursday?
Yes.
I became an official acting voice actor, or working voice actor. So, I'm currently wrapping up the production of an audiobook for Audible. And that's pretty damn cool. So
not only will you get his dulcet tones through this podcast, you could potentially fire up audible.com and there he will be.
Yeah. So I'll once the book is published, I will obviously I will release the title. I can get off the royalty. 100%. That's always a plus. Plus, it'll give me the opportunity to break into other niches of the business, like animation, things of that nature.
Absolutely.
What's that
Step in the
sound in the
door.
back?
It's not the sound, it's Johnny's mic.
No, it's not.
No, but like it sounds like running water.
Oh, yeah.
No, so I'm waiting for the fucking apology, David.
Oh no, your
No,
mic did crap out for a second though.
See?
See, okay. Then at that point, I know it's the cable. I got to get a new cable.
Okay.
I got one for the recording studio. It's nice little like shielded, braided, the whole 9 yards, but it's only a 4-foot cable. I need like an 8-foot cable for this desk because this nice long boom that David sent, and then it's got a route around everywhere. It's all good. Anyway, so we're going to be moving on here, but let me see. Yeah. So if you've been watching the Netflix documentary called The Clubhouse, it's a year with the Red Sox. It's on Netflix. The left fielder for the Boston Red Sox, Jared Duran, made a confession that he had attempted suicide back in 2022, and everybody has been really kind of just backing him up on that and really giving him some props. As a lot of veterans will attest to, a lot of law enforcement, first responders will attest to, that your mental health, just until here recently, the culture's been, if you talk about it, you got to surrender your man card kind of thing. But he has really brought that to the forefront for a lot of people. And leave it to the trash ass fans in the city of Cleveland. This weekend, this weekend, the Sox were in Cleveland playing the Guardians. Jared Duran, during the bottom half of the inning, is over there in left field down by the corner. And a Cleveland fan takes it upon himself to start chirping at Jared Duran with something to the effect of, hey, maybe you should try killing yourself again. This time, go through with it. That, of course, and very rightfully so, sets Jared Duran off. And he damn near has to climb into the stands to beat the shit out of this guy. I mean,
Good.
First off, Jared Duran is jacked. So, yeah, no. Dude's scary fast. He's like freakish, right? Ballpark security, Red Sox personnel, the umpiring crew, they all got involved. The Cleveland Guardians and Progressive Field staff, they escorted this guy from the field. They kicked him out of the game. They ejected him from the ballpark. And the Cleveland Guardians came out today in a statement and said that they will be moving forward with MLB to take further actions against this guy.
Permaban.
So permaban. I mean, drop the hammer on this guy.
Absolutely.
I mean, he should be banned from every ballpark in America.
Yes.
That includes the minor leagues.
Fully support that.
Because you want to run your fucking mouth. I mean, people don't realize these days is the fact that when you open your mouth and you run that cocksucker, there are consequences for your actions.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have forgotten about that because they have venues like Twitter. They've got venues like Facebook where they're hiding behind a screen with a degree of anonymity that provides them some kind of like safety bubble. You get out in the real world and you try to pull some shit like that, you will get popped in the mouth. And this guy is damn lucky that that ballpark security and the Red Sox were there to keep Jared Duran from climbing in the stands and spiking him in the face.
Yeah.
Because this guy, he has fought back from depression, anxiety, and he's really tried to reinvent his self-image, his self-worth. And there's a lot of great quotes from this book that I'm producing right now. One of which is, and I'm just paraphrasing here, but courage is not acting despite fear. Courage is acting with fear. And you're working with it. You recognize that it's there, but you don't let it control you. And it's so it was a dick move by this guy, by this fan. I say fan with quotation marks, but bravo. Props to Progressive Field, props to the Cleveland baseball organization for stepping up and really going the extra mile and working with Major League Baseball to really send a message that while healthy chirping is really kind of encouraged, it's always been a part of the game, but there is that line, and there's that line that you just don't cross.
There's just too many people that forget that. I mean, they're athletes and they're celebrities or whatever, but they're still human. Like they still human. Get those human emotions. They're still going through the same things that we go through. Sometimes even more so because of brain injuries and things like that they're getting.
Yeah,
all of that they need to deal with it just like we do, and yeah, props to them for shining a light on that and actually cracking their whip on them, because that's just, there needs to be a clear indication that this is not going to be called for.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm
not condoned, I should say.
Yeah, it's not condoned, but I am happy that the individual is going to be dealt with on a whole other level as far as baseball is concerned. Moving forward, Jared Duran. I mean, the dude later. I mean, like the next day, or it was the day before, he hit a triple this weekend, and then stole home. This guy rounded the bases in less than a minute.
Jesus,
like from out of the box, from the batter's box,
yeah,
to third base where he ended his triple, just over 10 seconds.
Jeez.
So it's 90 feet from home to first, and an additional 90 feet to second, and an additional 90 feet to third. And then with a left-handed batter in the batter's box, stole home. I'm like
that alone is ballsy enough.
Yeah, and I'm like, ooh, I mean, granted, it was a left-handed pitcher, so he had his back turned, but he got basically a very huge suicide lead. I mean, he was almost 3/4 of the way down the baseline before the pitcher even delivered the ball. Jeez. And nobody picked up on it. None of his first baseman, none of his infielders tipped him off that said, "Hey,
third base is not yelling at him."
No, I'm just like, what happened there?
How do you drop the ball that badly that you're letting your guy on your base get that far out without any indication?
Well, just remember though, it's Cleveland.
Well, this is true.
So, but yeah.
Yeah, they're Cleveland though. They're not the A's. Like, come on.
I mean, even the A's, despite the fact that a lot of players for the A's are like, man, we really don't want to play in Sacramento. So a lot of Sacramento residents have not been showing up to that minor league ballpark. And I'm like, okay. But despite that, the A's have really been they've really been kind of, I don't know, showing up a little bit, because as of right now, they're playing 500 baseball.
Yeah.
And
it's probably because they don't have the same stench that the old
I don't think
they're playing pissed off. That's what it is.
Well, yeah, the players are pissed off because they feel like the organization as a whole just kind of gets a bad rap, and rightfully so, because the owners for the longest time were just junk.
Yeah.
And I mean, the owner is still kind of a subpar human being, but these guys, they're tired of being treated like the laughingstock of Major League Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think that it's time that we start recognizing who the laughingstock of Major League Baseball is. And you would think that it would be the 7-21 Chicago White Sox. Nay, it's the 4-23 Colorado Rockies. So yeah, I'm like, oh boy. So
And
Not that you need any reminding, Chris, but your Rangers are one game back.
I saw that they dropped to the Mariners.
Yeah.
They've had like a four game slump, I think, so far.
Yeah.
They've been a little bit of a slump, and they're playing the A's tonight too.
We're still technically in the month of April, so I mean, the season's not even 20 days. I mean, the season's barely a month old.
Oh yeah, I'm not ready to pull any panic cords or anything like that.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, it's just like okay, so the Red Sox win opening day, then they drop the next 4, and then they get a little streaky. Right now, they're 2 games back from the Yankees.
Right.
I mean, they're 2 games above 500, and I'm like, all right, cool.
It was nice to see a good. They had a decent start out the gate.
Well, what I thought was hilarious was the fact that, earlier in the month when the first nationally televised game on Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN, the Red Sox absolutely went the fuck off. They hung 19 runs.
So we're 1 game back.
I'd love to see it.
Or they were they've won 2 games in a row, so they dropped the first game in Cleveland for the series, so that's why they're 2 games back. But yeah, they Red Sox don't play again until tomorrow. They're up in Toronto. The aforementioned Rangers, they're live against the Athletics, so they're actually playing at home right now. So I don't know. We'll see. And I love how the fact that I was playing MLB 25, the show. And you play the Athletics, and there's just like on MLB.com, there's no city to that team at all. And I'm just like, huh. So I'm doing Road to the Show, and I mean, we just won the pennant, so I'm fixing to play the World Series, but we're sitting there playing the A's in their ballpark, and it was one of the 4 or 5 generically designed minor league ballparks that Canton uses. So it's just like,
that's hilarious.
Huh. Okay. But I know David's just chomping at the bit here, but the NFL draft occurred this weekend.
It did,
and everybody, if
did something happen? I don't know. Was there somebody that wasn't picked?
Cam Ward from Brazoria County, just down the road, literally 20 minutes down the road from my house, from West Columbia, Texas. He got drafted number 1 overall. He was the 9th Texas high school football player to be drafted number 1 overall.
I don't know about him.
Oh no, he's going to be a bust.
Yeah, well, okay. Here's the thing.
It's going to be less of a bust than somebody else, though.
Well, when he was playing in 2014 Pop-Tart Bowl, playing just the first half, Ward withdrew himself for 3 touchdowns, setting the career combine FCS 71 and FBS 87.
Well, it wasn't 2014; it was last year.
2020.
Here's the thing. When you declare for the draft, as a collegiate athlete, you are not required. And I disagree with this rule, but you are not required to participate in any postseason appearances that your school is involved in. And the reason for that is
here's the thing. He was playing the game, but on the second half of the game, he just walks off.
Okay, well, maybe he didn't feel the need to set that record because he understood that there was really nothing for him to gain short of a really cool trophy.
Or a potentially career-ending injury.
Yeah, I mean, or he could have hurt himself. So, unfortunately, the way that collegiate athletes, with them getting paid, according to NIL rules nowadays, a lot of kids make more money playing college ball than they would in the pros. And when they declare, when they declare for the draft, they're not required to play in those games. And if they do, you might be lucky to get a half out of them. And that's a lot of it is, because they're trying to protect their draft stock. Now the Titans, when they picked him up, number one, first pick, they traded up to get him. But they're not naming him the starter because they still have Will Levi as their starter right now. So expect some kind of a quarterback competition going into OTAs and training camp during the preseason. Cam Ward, yeah, we'll see him play in the NFL this coming season. But don't look for him to be a starter unless Will Levi either gets traded or he gets hurt. But everybody's projected first overall pick, Shedeur Sanders, preemptively had his number retired at the University of Colorado. Nobody will ever wear the number 2 again, even though he only wore it for 2 years.
That tells you the level of his ego right there.
Oh, it tells you the level of his dad's convoluted thinking.
That too.
That in the fact he is a number 2. He wanted to make everybody sure that he is a number 2.
Well, I mean, I see where you're going with that, David, but here's the thing. When you slide all the way to the 5th round,
and even then he was forced in there in the 5th round because you could tell by the war room reactions.
Yeah, the war room was
none of them.
I mean, none of them stood up and cheered.
None of them wanted him.
Yeah, I mean, even Cleveland Browns fans were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
so Shedeur, as far as Shedeur Sanders is concerned, I really don't see him lasting. If had he got drafted by, I don't know, like the New Orleans Saints, and if you know, but
he had more of a chance there.
Yeah,
even with the prank phone call pretending to be the Saints,
that was hilarious.
Now, okay, as far as I'll get to that in a second. All right, now, by virtue of the fact that you went to Cleveland, right, you're going to be playing behind Joe Flacco, and for now, at least, Deshaun Watson. If Deshaun Watson decides to come back,
and that's the thing. Did you hear Deion's take on that already?
That was a tweet from back in 2018.
No. He's already said he does not go behind anybody. I'm going to be taking care of that.
Yeah, no. Deion needs to stay in his lane.
Like, come on, man. There's no fucking way that your what was he, 8-19 son is going to play in front of Joe Flacco. It's not happening. Period.
And to be completely and perfectly honest, I mean, there's no way that he's playing in front of Deshaun Watson either.
Exactly. It's not happening. I don't care how much you throw around your weight. It's not happening.
Because here's the deal. I mean, Deion has stated on record a couple of years ago that ultimately his goal is to coach his kids in the NFL.
That's not going to happen either.
And I'm thinking, you remember the Ball family from basketball?
Mm-hmm.
Their dad overhyped them. One kid is still playing in the NBA for the Lakers, I think. But his other 2 boys that he forced out of college early, they're playing European and Chinese league ball. Okay. So I think as far as the rules of legacy, I wouldn't even call it nepotism at this point because Deion Sanders is not employed by an NFL team. But Shedeur, how can I equate this? Shedeur is like he's the coach's kid in a little league baseball team. His dad thinks he's the all-star, so where's he going to put him? Shortstop, right? Mm-hmm. And then every team hits that way, and you realize, A, my kid doesn't know how to put his glove on the ground, or B, he's got a hole in that webbing. It's like, I mean, a blind squirrel finds a nut.
But you're not able to make that change. You refuse to switch him out to a different position.
I never liked shortstop. That was always such.
That's why I never put you at shortstop whenever I was coaching you, because you sir, you either pitched or you were an outfielder because you were fast and you could cover a lot of ground and you had a cannon.
Man, I miss when I used to be able to play first base.
Hey,
I
See,
can't-
that's the difference. See, that's you recognizing the tools that your son has and using him where he'd be effective for the team.
Well,
I
that
Instead of
I
making the
didn't
whole
want the
team-
fat, I didn't want the fat ass like semi-professional baseball moms that were, hopping around like dugout on a weekly basis,
fucking
trying to
travel
tell
team
me how to
moms.
coach my team. It's like, you know what? If your kid sucks at almost everything humanly possible, be
Get
lucky.
them right.
If we had a DH rule, oh, dude, I'd have had rotating DH. Like, seriously. There was one kid.
3 people would have been batting the whole time.
There was one kid. I swear on all that is holy, his mother raised 10 shades of hell because I wouldn't put her fat dump truck of a son batting leadoff. So I'm like, okay.
I think I know what kid you're talking about.
Yeah, you do, and we're gonna keep the name out of the broadcast.
I don't
But
remember his name. All I remember was he was the reason why I didn't get a home run.
no,
because-
he
No,
was-
no,
Let me go ahead.
or like in park home run
Yeah,
Where-
and in the
because
park-
he stopped
Yeah,
at third.
yeah, and I'm about to address that game. So, we had more kids than we had positions. So, but the rule is everybody has to play, right? So this kid
Right.
started the game batting third. I had Colin batting cleanup. This
Okay.
kid reached base by virtue of the fact that he got walked, right?
Okay.
Now, when I say that this kid had slow reaction times, you'd punch him in the face and he would react a week later, kind of a thing, right? I know.
Jesus.
I could hear the hate mail. I could feel it coming. You're supposed to build those kids up. Look, this was A, years ago. B, I don't fucking care.
To
The
put it
rules are
bluntly,
rules, whatever. It's the rules. It's the corn. I'm not using his name, and if you keep pressing the issue, I will use his name. You
put
don't
it
want.
bluntly, he was built like a lineman. That's he
Yeah,
was,
he needed to be playing football, but even then, the kid was like a gelatinous meat sack because he was so out of shape. Like trying to get him to run to first.
Hmm.
I mean, it would register on the Richter scale. He ran that heavy footed, right?
Oh God.
So he gets on base, and Colin comes up to bat, and Colin, when he would barrel up a ball, I mean, he damn near hit one out on a foul, on a foul. But then he damn near hit one out on the following pitch, right? But this particular game, Colin hit this frozen rope line drive, split the gap on the outfielders, right? And I mean, they were playing shallow for whatever reason. I have no idea. Proper scouting would have told you, hey, this kid, he's got some pop, right?
Let's get right.
And so, Colin splits the gap, ball rolls all the way to the fence, and it just sits there. These kids are like chasing after it, and the two outfielders can't decide who's going to pick it up. And I am running. My assistant coach, I'm telling him, wave these kids through, wave these kids through. The kid in front of Colin, Colin had to go back to first base.
no, I had to go back to second.
Oh, was it second?
He,
Okay.
he got the third. I was yelling at him. I'm like,
Oh, that's
Go!
right.
oh,
got
I'm like,
the-
move.
He got thrown out on that play, right?
No, he just sat there. He just sat there, and then because of that, the kid after me.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so he finally motors his little way into third. Colin is just like, he's halfway between second and third. This kid, instead of going through this, going through and going around to score,
The way he's being waved.
yeah, he stops because he's out of breath. And I'm telling Colin, go back.
Jesus Christ.
And
Dude,
I mean, the mother of this kid could physically see that I am ill about it, like
yeah.
violently ill. There
Mhm.
are parents on the other team that are laughing at her child. Like, whose kid is that? Good God. Right. And she goes full Karen. right? And I think that this word does not get enough play in the English language. But this woman was a straight cunt, right? Hit him with the hard T type thing, right?
Yep.
And so she starts like, well, if I was coaching the team, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I almost turned around and told her, if you don't like the way I coach, either start your own team. Well, start your own team and take your kid and go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I tried to make amends with all these parents and try, you know, like, hey, after the fact, I even tried pumping him up during the post game, you know, huddle. Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was. Yeah.
Like, how do you put your son in that position? Like,
I mean, I felt bad
like that.
I really did, because we tried to work with him, like tried to build his confidence at the plate, tried to build his confidence as a base runner. He absolutely 100% refused to catch a ball. So I always put him in the outfield and I told him just play deep. And I had him playing right field, and always had the center fielder, whether it was Colin or one of our other kids, always had him playing, you know, double coverage. So I had him, you know, playing like I shading him closer to right. But yeah, getting back to Shedeur though, it's like that's the kind of mentality that's the picture that you see being set up right there, is that Dion needs to, I don't want to say cut the apron strings, but it's like, Dion, you need to make sure that the umbilical cord has been completely cut.
But that's what it is. Yeah.
It wasn't just that. It was the basic fact that when he went into the interviews, he had his headphones on, he had music going, he had his whole entourage going with him. He had all this stuff. He was a diva.
He wore so much cologne, they had to tell him, hey, let's go for a walk, because he was afraid. The GM was afraid he was going to pass out.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all the little things like that. And the fact that he went to the combine and didn't work out.
Yeah. That's what just blows my mind about the Sanders boys, is the fact that, you know, you listen to those team meetings that Dion has with his team in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we are not going to wear hats. We're not going to be listening to music. You know, when you show up, when you go to class, you're wearing a suit and tie.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
The thing you used to say to us about practicing, that
it's what you learn inside the chalk lines.
It was some about how something keeps you on the field.
Oh, yeah. Talent gets you on the field, but hard work and determination keeps you there.
Yep.
Right. Both Ken Griffey Jr. and Derek Jeter both said that. So, you know, and it's 100%. It's 100% true. I don't see his career going anywhere.
Mm-mm.
I mean, he'll end up on a practice squad somewhere.
And that's the thing, is like he doesn't have the talent to back up the arrogance that he has.
He really doesn't.
He doesn't.
So
he does not have a winning college record. He does not have a winning conference record. He does not have a bowl win.
Yeah.
But everybody's talking about all these records that he broke. And it's like,
now NFL.com,
but he didn't win.
Yeah. NFL.com.
Go ahead. The best kind of player, I feel like, is one that is humble with his skills, and he knows that if he's not going to cut it, then he needs to work harder to try to be able to make up for where he lacks and to get to where he should be able to play, instead of where the coaches is like, I'm taking a risk putting this guy in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, NFL.com, Chad Reuter is the draft analyst that wrote this article. He gave a snap grade for all 32 teams from the draft. He gave the Arizona Cardinals an A-. So, like, because they drafted Walter Nolan from Mississippi in the first round, Will Johnson, which is a quarterback, round 2, edge rusher Jordan Birch, linebacker Cody Simon, cornerback cornerback Denzel Burke, outside guard or offensive guard Hayden Connor from Texas in the 6th round, and then their 7th round pick was safety Keaton Crawford from Nevada. They and an A-. I mean, that was a solid draft for them. Atlanta Falcons got a B-. They got edge rusher Jalen Walker from Georgia and James Pierce Jr. from Tennessee, both edge rushers in the 1st round. So they traded to get that second 1st round pick. The Baltimore Ravens got an A. They in the 1st round they picked up Malachi Starks. It's a safety out of Georgia. Let me see here. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 round picks, and they did a lot of trading and a lot of sacrificing to get those picks. The Buffalo Bills got a B+. Their 1st round pick was a cornerback, Maxwell Hairston, out of Kentucky. You want to talk about an excitable kid. Hairston cornerback, he wasn't exactly locked down, but he's got a very good baseline for a skill set that's going to develop well in the NFL. And then we've got, let me see here. The Carolina Panthers had a B-. They got to have something going for them, right? Round 1, they picked up a wide receiver out of Arizona, Teta Oria. His last name is McMillan, out of Arizona. They picked up edge rusher Nick Scorton, edge rusher from Texas A&M in the 2nd round. So they got a B-. So they got a really solid defensive player in the 2nd round, which the Panthers, boy, I'm telling you, the only place that they can go is up from last year. So
well, I mean, yeah. When you're at bedrock, there's really only one direction you can go.
The Bears got a B+. They picked up tight end Colston Loveland from Michigan in the 1st round. They picked up one of their 3rd, 2nd round pick, number 62 overall, is a defensive tackle, Shamar Turner from Texas A&M. Solid defensive tackle. Solid. I mean, this good football IQ. That's a really huge upgrade. Let me see here. The Bengals got a B-. They picked up Shamar Stewart, edge rusher out of Texas A&M in the 1st round. Here we go. The Cleveland Browns got a B+. 1st round defensive tackle Mason Graham out of Michigan. Not shabby, right? 2 2nd round picks. They picked up a linebacker Carson Schweisinger out of UCLA. Quinshawn Judkins out of Ohio State, running back. The most notable pick is going to be their practice squad signee, 144th overall pick in the 5th round, quarterback Shedeur Sanders from Colorado. Yes, I called my shot.
Also known as Johnny Manziel Jr. I'm calling it right now.
You know, Johnny Manziel at least started and won a couple of games.
Damn. Damn. Okay. Fair. You know, I'll give you that.
I mean, you're given the opportunity. They traded out of the number 2 spot on Thursday night, and they passed on a chance to sign Travis Hunter from Colorado.
Which, explain that one to me.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, Travis Hunter went number 2 overall, I think, anyway, but
still.
Oof. The Cowboys seem to magically get an A- on their draft picks. They picked up guard Tyler Booker out of Alabama. Okay, that's solid because they need somebody to replace Zach Martin because he retired.
True.
They had a couple of 5th round picks. Jaden Blue out of Texas, Shamar James out of Florida. Jaden Blue is a running back. They're needing somebody at running back just because you can't. The days of Emmitt Smith are gone. We are never going to see another Emmitt Smith.
No.
Okay. I'm really surprised they didn't try to go draft a quarterback. Honestly. But maybe, and I'm saying just say maybe. Jerry Jones's little stint on Landman and that speech that he gave instilled some kind of knowledge in his head, some kind of, I don't know, otherworldly third person perspective where he just said, you know what? I don't need another Sanders on my team. Fuck that kid. I know.
Hilarious.
I'm saying maybe. I prefaced the whole thing with a big maybe. Okay, so
I mean, we are talking about fiction, so
we are talking about fiction. Now, the Denver Broncos picked up a B plus. Their first round pick was cornerback Jahadi Barron. I know I'm saying it wrong, but it just looks fun to say. Jahdae. Jahade. Aloha Snack Bar Barron out of Texas. Man, we're gonna get some hate for that one.
That's gonna ruffle a few feathers.
It is. Woo! Okay. They picked up a punter though, Jeremy Crawshaw out of Florida, in the 6th round, 216th overall. Jeremy Crawshaw is going to see more playing time his rookie year than Shedeur Sanders.
Sorry,
mark my word.
A punter got picked before.
Now, he got picked after, but still, I'm like, damn.
Was he picked?
He was picked.
Oh, Connor. Yeah, you're right. Still,
the Lions got a B. Their first round pick went to defensive tackle Tyleek Williams out of Ohio State. Okay. I don't really see anybody that pops out. They got an offensive guard, Miles Frazier out of LSU. They picked up 2 guards, 2nd round, 5th round. They picked up a new safety, Dan Jackson out of Georgia. We'll see what happens there. The Packers got an A-. Their first round pick went wide receiver Matthew Golden from Texas. Okay. All right. I'm okay with that. The Houston Texans got an A-. They traded out of the first round to get some extra compensatory picks. 2 2nd round picks, 2 3rd round picks, 2 6th and 2 7th round picks. They picked up wide receiver Jaden Higgins from Iowa State. Solid wide receiver. He was part of that. It's coming from a really good offensive Buckeye squad. So, and we need somebody who's got some speed that's able to provide a deep threat for our quarterback to make some good plays, to extend the defenses out and stretch them a little bit. Picked up an offensive tackle a couple of picks later, Ariante Isuri out of Minnesota, and that's to replace Tanae, which we traded him for, I think, 1 player and a lot of draft picks to come with it. So let me see here. Anybody that kind of jumps out here? They did pick up another quarterback, Graham Mertz out of Florida. It'd be interesting to see how he fits in on the depth chart, if he makes it that far towards the end of camp anyway. But I don't know. Like I said, they gave the Texans an A-. We'll see what happens. I have opted to not get season tickets this year, just simply due to the fact that I don't know what my work schedule is going to look like.
True.
And I'm thinking, okay, I know tickets, if they win the division again and they go deeper in the playoffs, the season tickets are going to be more expensive next year, but I'll take that chance because I'll be making more. But I can think of a better way to spend $1,200 right now. So, and that's for 2 seats. Up in the 600 level, but if you've ever been to NRG, there's really not a bad seat there. So, the Colts got an A. Their first round pick went to tight end Tyler Warren out of Penn State. They picked up a defensive tackle in the 6th round from Alabama, Tim Smith. So I'm okay with that one. Yeah, that's pretty good. The Jacksonville Jaguars got an A-. First round, number 2 overall, Travis Hunter. He's a wide receiver / cornerback. if you watched the video that was out there, Travis Hunter trying on a Jags helmet for the first time, I mean, he looked like a kid who received a present on Christmas morning and didn't quite know what to do with it. Like, it was clumsy for him. You know, he's fitting that big forehead of his and that, you know, in that NFL helmet for the first time. And I'm just like, whoo, okay, all right.
So that's what we're doing.
Right. Yeah. That's what we're doing. Okay. But look for him to use his rookie season as kind of a statement as to why he should have gotten the Heisman last year. Because, I mean, despite the fact that he was in Colorado, I mean, far and away, he was probably the best statistical player in the country last year. But hey, good for the Jaguars, though. I mean, got an A minus. The Chiefs an A minus
season right there.
Yeah, Chiefs picked up an offensive tackle from Ohio State in their first round pick. The Las Vegas Raiders, they got an A. They picked up a running back, Ashton Genty from Boise State. That sounds like a white dude.
You're right.
Yeah, it's
like the whitest name,
right?
Outside of Benedict Cumberbatch.
What is his position?
He's a running back.
Oh, okay.
A white guy as a running back? Is that even allowed? They better check with the
Christian McCaffrey might argue with you on that one, Chris. No, he's a black guy. I'm just saying the name sounds white. So before anybody starts flagging our videos for racial profiling and bullying, how about A, go get fucked and stay fucked, and B, we verify our facts, and we're just making the comment that hey, the name sounds white, for crying out loud. Good.
I still like what Shane Gillis said.
Go buy it.
He said I'm at the age that I was probably the last year when I seen a wide receiver.
I mean,
hey, last year a white cornerback was making gangbuster moves.
That's
true.
But
was he a wide receiver?
Or no, he was a cornerback. And he had an interception in the Super Bowl. No, he was playing for the Eagles. That's right. So there's a white cornerback playing for the Eagles. Won the Super Bowl last year. So, yeah. Okay.
See, kids, your dreams do come true.
Yeah, your dreams do come true. The Chargers, the Los Angeles Chargers, got an A minus. Their first round picked up running back Omarion Hampton out of North Carolina, wide receiver Trey Harris from Mississippi in the second round. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna move on. The Los Angeles Rams, the team that they really built the stadium for, got a B plus. They didn't pick in the first round; they traded down, but they got round 2 pick, number 46 overall, tight end Terrence Ferguson out of Oregon. Okay, yeah, all right. Nothing really stands out there. The Dolphins got a B plus. Defensive tackle Kenneth Grant out of Michigan went in the first round for Miami. I hope he likes spending his career being irrelevant, being the highest paid non-playoff appearance having draft pick in NFL history. I would say Shedeur Sanders would hold that distinction, but he's never going to start, and he was picked in the 5th round anyway, so it's whatever. Minnesota Vikings got a B. Their first round pick, offensive guard Donovan Jackson out of Ohio State. The New England Patriots. I like what the Patriots did in the first round. They picked up offensive tackle Will Campbell out of LSU, and he said he will die to protect his quarterback. Nice. That dude, you want to talk about humble? You want to talk about class? And just overall, just expressing the high degree of gratefulness to even be drafted. Go watch video on Will Campbell. That dude was impressive on draft day. So we will see. I'm hoping that it's not one of those situations where he interviews well, and then he's vastly underqualified for the job.
Yeah, it says what he needs to at the time.
Yeah, but I mean, at the very least, you understand that this kid's got at least a semi-decent head on his shoulders. So we'll see how that translates in Mike Vrabel's new system. So we'll see. Let me see what else here. The New Orleans Saints, who did not draft, I say again, did not draft Shedeur Sanders. That was an epic prank that we will discuss later. Their first round pick, offensive tackle Kelvin Banks Jr. out of Texas. They got another Texas kid, defensive lineman Vernon Broughton, in the 3rd round. The New York Giants got an A. Their first round pick picked an edge rusher, Abdul Carter from Penn State. They also their other first round pick, quarterback Jackson Dart out of Mississippi. And so the general manager's kid, I think he leaked the pick on Instagram.
Oh no!
Or the team released the pick to the NFL. Fine, it all worked out. But it's like they took a quarterback in the first round not named Sanders. When that same Sanders kid wore New York Giants cleats during a collegiate game. Man, that's got to be a bad look, right? I mean, that's the kind of thing that gets you slid all the way down to the 5th round and picked 144th overall.
Right.
In case you haven't figured it out, I'm going to run that joke into the ground tonight. So
Every time.
I'm going to beat it like a dead horse.
It's well deserved.
The New York Jets, they had a decent B+, so they gave their fans reason to lengthen the rope that they're going to hang themselves with by the halfway point this year. First round pick, offensive tackle Armand Membo out of Missouri. They picked up a tight end, Mason Taylor out of LSU. That is a solid offensive pickup. Why the Jets did not draft a quarterback, I don't know. Because Aaron Rodgers isn't going to be there.
What?
I know. Now, if all is fair in love and war, Aaron Rodgers needs to complete the prophecy and go sign a 1-year deal with the Vikings and then retire. But he's not. I forget where it was that he signed. David, can you look that up for me real quick? Where did Aaron Rodgers sign? The Philadelphia Eagles, your defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, picked up an A-. Their first round pick picked up linebacker Jihad Campbell. Oh, yeah, out of Alabama. La, 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 la. Yeah, that's right. Bring on the hate. I dare you. Round 2, they picked up safety Andrew Mukuba out of Texas.
It was the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Pittsburgh Steelers. That's right. And he's going to be vying for a starting job. He's going to be fighting that starting job. No, he's not, because Russell Danger Wilson went to the New York Giants. That's right. I forgot about that. Thank you. All right. So the prophecy did not come to fruition. So the second coming of Brett Favre will be delayed slightly because the third temple has not been built yet. Thanks, Minnesota. Speaking of the Pittsburgh Steelers, they got an A. And this is awkward. This is really awkward. First round, they picked up a defensive tackle, Derek Harmon out of Oregon. And all the way down into the 6th round, 185th overall, they picked a quarterback by the name of Will Howard out of Ohio State. So, Will Howard, congratulations on your new starting job, because you know that Aaron Rodgers is going to blow his Achilles again.
It only happens
early and often.
It only happens what, David?
It only happens once.
Mm.
Well, twice.
He'll blow his other Achilles. How about that?
Not at that age.
Or it's either that, or he'll spend too much time in his dark root cellar sweat room during this off season. He'll come out and be like, "I know kung fu," No, he won't.
I don't know that reference.
The Matrix, dude. Come on.
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. Matrix is an overrated movie series.
You watch your mouth. Do you want to get disowned?
Okay.
That's a good way for us to get just disowned.
Okay, hon, I want you. No, I want you to put this perspective. Number one, the first movie is the best one.
Bureaucrats are going to arrest you.
I agree.
The newest movie
Was horrible. Agree.
was it was so bad. The whole
Agreed.
thing about the newest movie was
movies with Neil Patrick Harris in them are trash.
Yeah.
all right.
And when the Wachowski brothers decided to become the Wachowski sisters, you knew that it was going to be a woke fest. So you're not going to get any arguments about the last movie. But that first movie,
The second
is
movie,
classic.
I know. No, I know. I said the first movie is the best one. That's peak Matrix. The
Yeah.
second one is okay.
It's mid.
good at best.
The third one,
It's good at best.
the third one,
Third
it's like
one-
he ran out of budget halfway through, and you
Okay.
can tell, especially during that first fight with Neo and all of the Smiths, when he was using the concrete or the signpost.
Yeah.
I actually
I'm like-
like that.
That was really bad. Now the fight scene at the end of the movie, that was cool.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I'm just saying that the first movie carries the entire series. So as a series, it's overhyped.
okay, not going to argue with you there. All right, so the San Francisco 49ers got a B+ on this year's draft. Their first round pick, number 11 overall, edge rusher Mikael Williams out of Georgia. Yeah, that's okay. I don't really care about the 49ers, but there we are. The Seattle Seahawks got an A-. They picked up offensive guard Grace Zabel out of North Dakota State. For whatever reason, my brain defaulted, and I almost said Blue Mountain State.
I mean,
The coach went down. He needs 2 core coolers. Lucky guy. Okay. Tampa Bay Buccaneers picked up a B+, their first round pick, wide receiver Emeka Egbuka out of Ohio State. Yeah. I'm surprised they got a B on that one. Okay, so the Tennessee Titans with a A grade, they picked up number 1 overall Cam Ward. Their number 2 pick, edge rusher from UCLA. I am not trying to pronounce that kid's name. I am sorry. Good luck to the radio announcers next year. They picked up tight end Gunnar Helm out of Texas in the 4th round. That's pretty solid. Yeah, okay. The Redskins, the Washington type, 1 each, picked up a B grade. First round pick, offensive tackle Josh Connerly Jr. out of Oregon. They picked up cornerback Trey Amos out of Mississippi in the 2nd round. Those 2 picks alone warrants the B grades. I mean, that's pretty solid. But yeah, that not a whole lot. I don't want to get into the ins and the outs and the who's and the whys. I just want to be able to ride that Shedeur Sanders joke into the ground before the end of the show.
never happened.
Well,
Never
we really don't. Here's the thing: we really don't know what the player's going to do when they get to the NFL. They could
I
be-
will say this. I saw an interesting take, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, David. I'm sorry.
No. It's totally fine. But let me finish.
Yeah, okay.
It's interesting that you'll have a player go in, and he's probably the most crappiest in college to the point where they were really not really thinking about picking him up. And then he turns out to be like a gem. Or you get a player that he had promising and he's out in the first season.
Well, here's the deal. Shedeur Sanders is not going to be the second coming of Tom Brady.
Oh no, he's not.
That is not happening
That's not what I was getting at.
right now.
was-
Now,
I was
With-
getting into the pack that with all these
yeah,
players
Like-
predictions and everything. Oh, you got a B-, you got a A, you got a C. You don't know until he's actually on the field.
well, I get it. The sun shines on a dog's ass too. I understand. Now, with that being said, I did see an interesting take. You know, everybody is all like, "Oh, the NFL did him dirty," blah blah blah. No, Shedeur Sanders did himself dirty.
Oh yeah.
Because people look at him and they're like, "Oh, this dude's going to be a cancer in the locker room." You can have all the talent in the world, but if you suck as a human being because you were raised improperly, and yeah, I'm calling Dion out, and if he wants to come on our show to debate that, hey, by all means, give us the numbers and come on. I don't really care. But there's a reason why you were drafted 5th round. Nobody wants to bring. I mean, you're lucky that the Cleveland Browns are taking a chance on you. If Shedeur Sanders is really going to show up and show out, he needs to humble himself before the feet of the Lord. And I mean, not one of these like public professions of faith where he's out there thanking God on Twitter. He needs to go out there and sincerely bathe himself in the river, Jordan.
Introspection by himself on the mountaintop.
Tell your dad, hey, take the Range Rover, take all this shit back, sell all your bling, show up
That
like
fucking
you.
chain. You saw that chain he was wearing on draft day?
Show up like you were a scholarship kid. Pure, plain and simple. Okay. Show up like your dad was not your head coach all the way through your informative years. And earnestly learn the playbook, work out like a demon possessed between now and OTAs. Show up in the best shape of your life and ball out. Make it hard for the Cleveland Browns to go, you know what? Joe Flacco is a proven starter and a veteran. We might have ourselves a bit of a good problem here. Because all of these quarterbacks that were drafted in front of Shedeur Sanders that everybody thinks somehow is the heir apparent to, the face of the NFL. He's got a unique opportunity to be the answer, to show all of these doubters and all these naysayers that they made the wrong decision.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cam Ward's going to flame out. He's going to start, but he's going to get hurt because Tennessee's offensive line does not know how to block.
No, they can't protect anything.
Okay. I mean, it's not like they don't know how to get to the end zone, but their defense did more scoring last year. And I know the fact checkers are going to be like, no, that's wrong. Like, shut up. Just get over yourself for a second. Okay. I'm trying to make a point.
That's hyperbole.
Yes. I mean, for those of you who don't know, I'm like, oh God, he's going to mansplain it.
No, it's just called explaining when a man does it.
Thank you for mansplaining.
That's mansplainception.
Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and jet out.
Hey,
I'm gonna go ahead and jet out real quick. I'm gonna have to get up early in the morning. Thank you everybody for watching us. That's watching us right now. Keep it safe out there, guys.
You too, brother.
All right, love you guys. Later.
Love you too. we had to hit one for the road.
Okay. All right. So watch our viewer count go up. It's going to be awesome.
Right.
We love David. Okay. For those of you, because I know that we've got a lot of new subscribers and not a lot of new viewers and listeners. So it's like, okay, David is our dearest friend. Okay. We will die for that kid.
Yes.
But we reserve the right to solely be his main source of grief and heartache.
Yes. He is the little brother, and only we are allowed to bully him. If you touch him, you will die.
Right. I mean, we alone are going to be the reason why we attended his funeral, knowing that something could have been done to prevent.
Mm-hmm.
But I digress. Colin, are you ready for your segment?
Yeah.
Good talk.
I might not pick it up.
Rising from the smoke and haze of desolation comes the Spartan. He is bent on wronging that which has been set right. It's the greatest genetic code ever to exist here for your ears and eyes to feast upon. Spartan Colin, I hope you're bringing the smoke tonight. Someone get me a joke.
Oh, I'm going to get in the joke.
That tracks for tonight.
Yep. That's part for the good. That is absolutely on brand for us as a whole.
Yeah.
Why was the bikini invented? Separate the milk from the dairy.
Oh.
I said the milk, the meat from the dairy.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
English is hard. What's the difference between a piece of wood and a woman? The sound they make when they're getting nailed.
Oh God. Oh, that one's gonna get somebody in trouble.
Oh, wow. I sent you one earlier this week, Colin, or I sent you one on Tuesday.
You did? You
Mhm.
did?
Your text messages. Wait for it. You see, because we really hate dead air, I'm gonna have to.
Okay.
How do you want to tell that one?
Okay. What's the definition of confusion? 20 blind lesbians at a fish market.
Oh man. Oh no. Becky?
I thought you told your ex not to come around.
Oh
We have a restraining order against you.
Hmm.
no.
Something smells familiar.
Familiar.
Linda, is that you?
Slipping
Fix
out
that
through
button.
the fog of war, this Spartan continues the fight. Your souls have become collateral damage in the battle against the flood of moral supremacy. Leave your expectations at the door on your way out and marvel before the pillar of tactical prowess. Ladies and gentlemen, angry faithful of all ages, this has been Joke Time with Colin.
Solid out.
One day,
Solid.
one day we're gonna get copyrighted.
Hey.
One day.
Don't put that evil on us, Ricky.
Hey, right?
Don't you do that.
So you cannot speak it into
Don't give that any kind of energy.
You're right. I can't Wile E. Coyote it. You're right.
You will speak that to truth, and we're not going to do that.
Hey,
Well,
look,
it's called Wile E. Coyote syndrome. You know.
either a coyote is under that heavy rock or the paintbrush hasn't dried yet on the wall. Okay, just kind of saying. All right, so Talladega occurred this weekend. Pretty solid. Not going to get into it too much. Austin Cindric driving the number 2 car for Penske picked up the win. It's his 3rd career victory overall. I didn't like the way that race ended. And it wasn't because that Larson or Byron didn't win. They finished 3rd and 4th respectively. But
Not bad.
the 2 Penske cars that were up front, they held the 2 lines. They basically affected the outcome of the race. Let me try to phrase this so it doesn't come off sounding like a butthurt Hendrick fan or one of these black helicopter NASCAR guys, but it looked awfully suspicious, right? It's like they're holding their lines back. I mean, they're making their cars as wide as possible, which they've got every right to do. But when a teammates finish 1-2 like that at a super speedway race, it just kind of seems like, I mean, they were dragging their brakes and keeping, staying tucked up, and I mean, they were doing everything that they were supposed to be doing to protect their position. But the further back you go, it looked off.
Yeah, it's still a bad look.
Yeah, but it is what it is. So Texas Motor Speedway is going to be the epicenter of racing next weekend. It is going to be hosting all 3 major touring series. It's going to have the Craftsman trucks on Friday. It's going to have the Xfinity Series on Saturday. And the Cup Series guys will be at Texas Motor Speedway on Sunday, May 4th. That is going to be a 2:30 start time. I'm actually going to be...
It's a shame we couldn't go to that and just spend that whole weekend.
Yeah. I'm actually going to be in Fort Worth this weekend. My oldest stepson, Jake, his grandfather passed away a week and a half ago. His remains are going to be interred in the Fort Worth area. So they're having a family service this weekend. So we're going to be up there for that. That's all going to be on Saturday. But, and I'm like, okay, you know how I am, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like anything to detract from the moroseness of a situation, right? So I proposed this idea to the family. I said, hey, after the service, we're already going to be in the Fort Worth area. Let's hop over to Texas Motor Speedway, hit the Midway. We're not going to get tickets to go see the race because we're not staying that long.
Right.
We still have to drive home. It's fucking 4 hours from Dallas to the house, right?
Right.
But I legitimately want to run over to Texas Motor Speedway just to go to the Midway and buy a Kyle Larson hat. That's all I want to do.
I could absolutely see you doing that.
And by God, I want to do that.
I hope you get the chance. I do.
I mean,
What else comes out this weekend?
enlighten the party.
Thunderbolts.
Oh yeah, that's right. Thunderbolt.
And I plan on seeing it because
So you're gonna break with tradition and you're gonna go see it on your own.
dude,
All you have to do is say is yes.
I can wait. I can
No,
wait.
if the opportunity presents itself, I mean, I'm gonna wait. I have already seen the post-credit scene.
What?
Yeah, I've already seen the post-credit scene.
Why ruin it for yourself?
It's not like I went looking for it. TikTok, blame it.
Yeah, but just
Or
scroll
more or less,
past.
more specifically, blame the person that posted the video.
Is it going to be worth staying for?
I believe so.
Yeah, dude, this movie,
I just can't get excited for this one. I don't know
why?
And again, now I'll preface that by saying I don't know if it's a burnout on just going to the theater in general, or if it's a burnout on Marvel movies because
Okay,
Well,
okay,
you
but
were
like,
really
but like,
shitty.
but yes,
Hold on.
no,
Time out.
but
Time
no,
out. Time out.
ah,
Time out for a second. Maria, 4 hours, so cute. I understand that you drive way more. You've got more windshield time than everybody on this panel combined so far this year. However, 4 hours with kids in the car that A, have to take Dramamine because they don't travel well. B, have to stop every, I don't know, hour because they've got bladders the size of squirrels. And we're not talking like a fat cat squirrel. No. We're talking about one of those cracked out, hammy type, over the hedge Steve Carell squirrels. Yeah. So there's that. Like me, 4 hours, not a problem. I could do that standing on my head. Not a big deal. But we're going to be leaving a funeral service. I'm going to be dragging my family across the Dallas-Fort Worth area or met the Metroplex to go to the racetrack just to pick up a hat.
Mm-hmm.
Just to pick up a hat.
Worth it.
And if it's during the race, I'm going to be like, oh, I want to hear,
Oh, it's not just...
I just want to smell the exhaust, right? I want to hear the revving of the engines. I want to hear that. I want to wear my new Kyle Larson cap all the way home. Yeah. And then I'm going to have to listen to people complain because, when are we going to get home? I don't want to be in the car anymore. How about you shut up before I strap you to the roof? So the 4 hours, yes. That's why I even thought it worth mentioning was because of the circumstances that are going to be involved. The task conditions and standards were laid out. So You, ma'am, do not have the authoritative monopoly on bitching about windshield time. I'm sorry. That's not the way the real world works. At least not here. Our reality right here within this time block, you've dedicated yourself to listening to. So there you go. You have to submit to our rules of reality. Now, with that being said, Colin, continue with your thought.
Number one, this movie looks so good. It's like, and I'm so excited for these next two lineup of Marvel movies because you're just gonna be on the edge of your seat the entire time, wondering how are they gonna, what are they gonna do to deal with this threat? Because with the Thunderbolts, they're going against Sentry, or more accurately, the Void. The guy where in the comics, his power is described as the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns. And
But it's Marvel, so they'll find
all
a way to
these,
screw it up.
and
I'm on board with you, Colin.
no, but they won't.
I hope
These
I'm
next
wrong. I'm
movies
telling you.
might be
I hope I'm wrong.
I full heart, like, I know I shouldn't have my expectations this high, but I fully expect these next two Marvel movies to be some of the greatest Marvel movies they have ever produced. Like, yeah.
I don't.
I mean, I want to see Thunderbolts, but I'm telling you, I'm not trying to jump ship, but I am genuinely more excited for the new Superman.
I can't even.
I'm
drum up any
more
excitement for that
excited.
either.
I am excited for that
See,
movie.
that's why I'm saying I honestly think it's more about me not having the desire to go to a theater to watch movies anymore. I just don't.
No, okay.
I honestly think that's a large part of this.
Take that factor out. Take that factor out. Think about watching the movie on your couch.
Maybe, possibly. If there's nothing else to do,
I'm going to finish the NASCAR segment real quick. So just hold on. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yes. Sunday, May 4th at 2:30 p.m. is the start time for the oh, daggone. Come on. Seriously. Stupid webpage. It's like it picks the middle of the segment to the Worth 400 presented by Liqui Moly. Texas Motor Speedway, which is in Fort Worth, Texas. 267 laps, 400.5 miles in length. It will be on FS1, the PRN Performance Racing Network, or Sirius XM Channel 90 in your car or on your Sirius XM app. Also, too, with the Sirius XM app, you can listen to driver channels. I believe also on Max, through the Max app, you can listen to in-car audio for specific drivers as well. So I haven't deep dived into all that. Yeah, yes, I do. I hauled a 33-foot trailer, 22-mile-an-hour gust. But you know what? You're not forklift certified, so blah.
Boom. Shakalaka.
Like, we're just giving you crap. Anyways, yeah, we're good with that. It's going to be a 1.5 mile track. So I look for the Hendrick boys to be up front. I look for Denny Hamlin to be pretty competitive for a majority of the day before something inexplicably goes wrong with his car and he finds a way to blame it on NASCAR or Toyota. Look for Mr. Irrelevant Bubba Wallace to bitch and complain and find something to scream about as he's wrecking somebody who's in the lead.
What? That's only happened like 7 times.
Right. But the weather looks to be pretty remarkable for next weekend. So look for sunshine, mostly sunny skies. So that means that the track surface, at least for the first part of the race, is going to be pretty hot. It's going to be pretty slick. Once those shadows over in turn one start getting cast across the racing surface, look for turns 1 and 2 to really pick up speed because the grip is going to go up considerably there with the cooler track temperatures. It's going to be your pretty stereotypical Texas race. I mean, when we went, we saw William Byron win. Just kind of putting that out there. Would have seen Kyle Larson win, but Bubba Wallace took the air off the back end of his car and spun him around. Anyhow, so I downloaded. Microsoft pulled a sneaky one. They shadow dropped Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion for Game Pass. It's a remaster. And the remaster has all of the same glitches and Easter eggs as the original. So I downloaded that, and in between,
You know
MLB
what? You
Looks
want to know what the problem
gorgeous.
is with
What,
and
Owen?
it sucks because so I bought the game on Steam. I've played some of it. Yeah, I don't. It hurts because all these newer gamers won't get the same like they don't, because there's all these people that are like, this is how you get the most busted weapon at level 1. Back when the original came out, you had to learn how to do that. Like it wasn't it wasn't just one quick search away. Hey, how do I get the most busted? No, you had to learn how to exploit the game.
The irony that it is coming from somebody who just recently turned 16.
That's hilarious.
Dude,
I did play the original game.
Hold on, Colin. I'm not trashing you.
Yeah, that's not a knock against you at all.
It makes me smile because I'm like, there's hope.
You know how long we've been saying that?
I mean, because I played it on the 360, right? And I played it through like 2 or 3 times with the same character, right? But I had like by the end of the first playthrough, I had all of my stats were maxed out because I did every side quest.
I've
Just put it
added
this way:
lore to
when
my
I
character.
went through the Oblivion Gate and I went to go, beat the final boss, I did it without any armor, and still didn't die.
I've added more lore to my character, John Ogre.
John Ogre. Okay. All right.
Yeah. I've told you about John Ogre. Yes.
Yes, you have.
Yeah. He started in Elden Ring, and it's just progressed. And it was really stupid. And I know you two aren't gonna have a single clue what I'm talking about, but I was playing Minecraft with the brothers, and they were like, "Is John Ogre in disguise?" I'm like, "Sure."
But you can't make a pig green.
No, it's a mask.
Okay. All right. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I was like, I was going to have, because I started the game up, and I was gonna do the exploit where you go, like, you get out of the sewers, you go to the prison, you ask the guard to let you see a prisoner, and then you turn around, ask him again, and then you go and get your sneak to level 100 like automatically.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
there was a one they could do for lockpicking too.
Yeah, I'm just like, my first playthrough.
I deliberately chose not to do that.
No, yeah, my first playthrough through Master, I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. No, I'll save that for a different run.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm trying to think here. It's
Fantastic Four, the Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah,
So good. Dude, okay, look, number one.
Hold on.
Number one.
That. Go ahead.
Pedro Pascal is going to be such a good Mr. Fantastic. and no, don't me. This guy.
You know what I
this
think
guy-
is funny about Pedro Pascal and all of his fans is the fact that a lot of these people are watching The Last of Us and they're all like, "Oh my god, he dies!" Like, did you not play the games?
No,
No,
no, yeah,
obviously not.
it's always so funny seeing the like people that haven't played the games.
Oh my God, spoilers!
Yeah, it's
The
just
know,
like
game's only been out
they're
for
like-
10 years.
I
It's just
saw an
like-
interview he gave, and they were like, "Oh, have you ever seen a more tragic death than the gruesome death than the one Glenn did in the had in the Walking Dead?" And Pedro's just looking at him like, "I'm not supposed to say anything, but
yeah, it's just like yeah.
there's a chance
I-
that it might get outdone." And I'm
I-
just
I
like,
ca- okay, number one, I don't even watch the show. I don't. But it's come such a funny problem with the casting at this point. The person they have for Ellie looks no different than what she did in season 1. There's no age difference.
I'm sorry. I stopped taking live action adaptations of video games seriously
I
after
think the
Paramount
chick-
made Master Chief take his helmet off in episode 1.
I think that the person who's dubbing Abby in season 2 should be Ellie. She straight up looks like her.
Okay, but
Also, what was I gonna say? I don't know.
I don't know. But
Fantastic Four though.
go ahead, make it quick.
You know, okay. This is going to be such an interesting movie because the question that is going to be asked is, what are they gonna do? Because they're fighting Galactus. The main thing that the theory is going around, and probably is the thing that's happening, is that Galactus is looking for Reed's and Sue's child, Frank Richards, who is a reality warping being in the comics. So, will they give up the child, or will they let the planet go bye-bye?
I just love how everybody's just like, feigning that, that indignation because, oh, they gender swapped the Silver Surfer. Shut up. It's a storyline. Just let it go.
No,
I know,
an
stop.
actual-
Ceasefire. Ceasefire.
It's an actual different character.
I know. I just literally said that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
It made me so mad when people were
we're
like,
coming up on 9:30 Central Time, folks.
yeah.
We've already given you triple the content that last week's episode gave you.
You're welcome.
I'm not holding you responsible at all.
Would you look at who's not here? Wow.
I mean, the producer can control the pace of the content. He just chose to cut out early because, well, I mean, he's not longevity and David don't usually get mentioned in the same paragraph, let alone the same sentence.
True.
It's kind of putting that out there. We love you, David. We really do. Anyhow, yeah, so episode 209. Next week, be ready for some more of the same bat time, same bat channel. I kind of like the later start time because it gives you an opportunity to get here, Chris. It really
Get me in before the start.
Yeah, and and we really have an opportunity to kind of make sure that everything's working correctly, and we're still able to manage to land the plane, I guess, in a more decent time, because it's a better pace. 'Cause
Yeah.
we're more mindful of the end. So, but
I think this is good. Oh, one real quick, and not to throw us off track too much, but did you see that brawl in the Stanley Cup game? There was a massive, huge. They had the refs involved. It was. I've seen at least 3 or 4 different angles of this fight on TikTok. If you get a chance, look it up and check it out. It was an old school slobber knocker. That was a huge.
yeah.
I don't know. It wasn't during the Stanley Cup. I'm sorry. I take that back. It was one of the. I want to say it was one of the playoff games.
Yeah.
It wasn't with the Stars.
Well, the Tampa Bay Lightning just fell to the Florida Panthers. And I can't stand Florida. I really can't. The Panthers anyway. But God, this is 2024, 2025, really. The year of the stupid idiotic trade, right? The Mavericks trade Luka.
Yeah.
The Bruins trade Brad fucking Marchand.
It's gonna go down in history.
Like, I'm happy that Brad Marchand's they're up 3-1 in the first round. But I'm like, oh, okay. Let me see here. I'll have to look up the footage of it because where the two goalies got into it. Like, one goalie comes over and he's throwing his stuff down, and the referees are like, "No, you got to go back." Right? That one. Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, that was hilarious.
Have y'all seen the stupid dilemma of 100 men versus one gorilla on the internet?
No, but now that you've got my interest peaked, I'm going to have to wait until after the show because I'm trying to delicately land the plane.
Like a pretty butterfly.
Like a pretty butterfly. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Unlike the Malaysia flight that keeps, disappearing over and over again.
Dude. Ow. Like a trainee pilot in DC.
Like a Mexican medevac flight trying to get back home.
Oh God! Have it.
Lower. That was wrong.
That's so
Lord,
bad.
I apologize. That was so fast. I am so sorry.
That was so bad. Oh God. Woo. Yep.
Oh, and those McDonald's workers across the street from the crash site were like, "Yeah, we're gonna get off early." Nope, the NTSB's over there getting coffee. You might as well just hang out, guy.
Yep.
Ooh,
You're going nowhere.
oh, I got 3 minutes with you.
I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime.
Hey kid, what do they call you? The human spider? No,
That sucks.
the amazing Spider-Man. Trust me,
You
kid.
got my name wrong. Oh man.
Oh, but 209 episodes. Yeah. I'm not going to have like the final thought like Jerry Springer's. Just sit down, keep your panties out of a bunch. It'll be okay, folks. But
Oh, Maria. Good Lord.
bring it in rough. We're not even going to spit on it this time.
She didn't say bring it in dry. Damn. Oh.
We're going to bring it in dry, and we're going to bake that yeast to a nice golden sourdough. It's going to be
Oh, just look at the time.
awesome. He's like, damn it.
We still haven't ended this? What's going on? Anyways, go ahead and continue. I'm sorry.
You have become indentured. You are privy. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been held against your will for the last hour and a half, and we appreciate you flying on Angry Me Airlines. But we're going to get to the crash site roughly about 10 to 15 minutes before the response crews do. But in the immortal words of the great late lesbian pirate Bearded Clam, scissor me timbers. Arr. Get out of here.